Welcome, my friends. Thanks so much for joining me. I'm Jen Hilman, and I'd like to welcome you to this replay of my live yoga class, Radiant Heart, Side Body Long. In this practice, we'll be learning how to build strength and stability through the core, creating space in the spine to help you move into a healthy, safe, pain-free back bend. So go ahead and roll out your mat. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and enjoy your flow. All right, so we'll begin in a nice comfortable seat. And I invite you to settle into that sense of grounding and rooting into the earth through your sitting bones, through the base of your pelvis and your legs. And adjust yourself in your seat so that you can sit up and extend through the crown of your head. And just by that simple adjustment, you start to find more space in the interior of your body. Start to invite a deeper breath into that space. Feel the joy and satisfaction that each breath brings. And use this moment of internal awareness to observe any sensations that you feel in your body. If there's anything that's tight, sore, achy, or stiff, let's take a personal inventory here. Notice what's going on. Take a deep, full breath in, grounding all the way into the earth. And exhale fully and completely, compressing all the air out through your center, pressing it out through your chest till you reach the bottom of the breath. You can slowly begin to open your eyes if they're closed, and we'll glide your hands out onto your knees. Gently press into your knees as a tool, as a lever, to help you sit up a little taller. Notice, as you lift up a little taller through your spine, your shoulders may want to shrug. You may kind of push yourself up this way. See if you can lift up out of the shoulders even more, right? So we press against the knees to give you that leverage to lift yourself up. It's almost like a car jack, right? And as you sit up tall, you may notice that your abdominals naturally start to draw in to help you sit up taller. So this is the feeling that we're working with in the core all day today. It's a feeling of up and in, up and in. So just press down against your knees. Another moment here. Lift up through your chest, lift up out of your shoulders, extend all the way up through the crown of your head, and feel this sensation in your core and along the sides of your waist. Then circle your arms up towards the sky. See if you can keep that length in your spine, reaching all the way up towards the sky. Now you may notice here a tendency we often have once the arms go up, the rib cage wants to go out. See if you can draw the rib cage in. So that's the abdominals drawing in, and we reach up from there. So now you'll start to feel more of a stretch along the sides of the waist. Take another deep breath in, reach up a little taller, hugging your belly up and in. Then we'll exhale and gently circle your hands down to your knees. And let's just take a little seated cat and cow. We'll inhale to lift your heart, roll your shoulders back, open through your chest. Then exhale and curl it in. So you can move on your own timing, move on your own breath. Just make it really juicy for yourself. Like really press the edges of this spinal stretch. Feeling your body awakening through movement. And we'll just take a couple more rounds, no rush. Give yourself this time to mobilize and work out the tight kinks. Whew. And when you feel complete, when you're ready, we'll come back up to center. Sitting up nice and tall here. Okay, so now we have an idea of what that feeling is through the core. We're going to build on it and move it a little bit deeper. So bringing your hands onto your knees, we're going to press against the knees to lift up through your spine. We feel the core drawing up and in, and you lift up out of your shoulders, creating more space. Now, holding on to your knees, begin to pull your heart forward. So you're reaching your heart forward towards the front of your mat, and you can roll your shoulder blades back. So you can see there's a big curve in the low back, but it's not crunchy. It's a big extended curve. So we pull the heart forward, traction through the spine, right? So roll the shoulders back, draw the heart forward, lift your belly up and in. Then for one more moment, let's just lift up through the gaze, just even looking forward or slightly up towards the corner. And we'll slowly come back to center. Take it into a twist, reaching the left hand across to the right knee. Just working your way into a nice twist here. As you press your left hand against your right knee, you can feel a good stretch across the back of the left shoulder blade, which is great. Like those are the muscles that we're working. So we're going to stretch it out. And then we'll go to the other side, coming back through center. Right hand comes across to the left. We'll twist it out. Getting a nice rotation in the spine. Pressing against the left knee until you stretch behind the right shoulder blade. And slowly make your way back to center. Make some big circles with your arms, opening through your chest. And then you can reverse directions. Getting some mobility. So we can take it deeper. All right, so from here, we're going to bring let's do the left hand to the floor. Okay, we're gonna press against the mat to lift up through the left side of your waist, then bring the right hand up and back behind your head. All right, lift up out of the left shoulder, so we're not crunching down, okay? Press up out of it and begin to reach your right elbow up towards the sky. So sometimes in a side bend, we can kind of collapse through the waist. I want you to use your left hand to support you like a kickstand. So as you reach the right elbow up, both sides of the waist are lengthening. Yeah, so we're opening up through the ribs, those intercostal muscles. You may even roll your gaze up towards the sky. And we'll slowly let it come back to center. Release your right hand down and circle your left hand up and back. Lift through your waist, taking a deep breath in, lift up out of the right shoulder. As you exhale, you'll begin to reach the left elbow up towards the sky, stretching through the left side of the waist. Notice if one side feels different. You know, sometimes we can have tension more on one side or the other. So whatever arises for you here, breathe into it and really work on lifting through your core, lifting up and in, and reaching up through the left elbow. That's how we lean into the stretch. And slowly rise, coming all the way back up. Then interlace your hands behind your back. Okay, we're going to squeeze the palms of your hands together, starting with a nice strong grip. All right. Lift up out of your waist, almost as if you were pressing on your knees, but you've got your hands tied. So we lift up using your own core strength. Roll your shoulders on your back, and just like we did before, we're going to reach the heart forward. So your hands can be resting on your sacrum. We're going to lean forward through the chest, rolling the shoulders back, peeling the heart open. Lift your belly up and in. Then from here, we begin to extend your fists back, little by little by little, okay? Don't overstrain yourself. One more moment here, we'll begin to lift the gaze, looking to the horizon, or maybe just above the horizon. Lean your heart forward, roll your shoulders back, and we'll gently release. Coming back to center, you can let your hands rest onto your knees. Go ahead and close your eyes here and just take some deep breaths. Feel all of that energy swirling around inside of you. Okay, so we're practicing these exercises and practicing these muscular engagements sitting. We're going to start to explore some other variations and see if we can tap in to that same muscular awakening in different positions. So we're going to come forward onto your tabletop. All right, so you set yourself up well on your hands and knees, and just a sidebar, I always I like to practice up on my finger pads. That helps me. It helps me feel stronger. It helps me feel like I have a little more space for more lift. So you can play with that, helping to build strength in the arms and hands. Up to you. All right, we're going to practice some cat and cow. Let's just take about 3 rounds of cat and cow right now, just loosening up the spine, mobilizing your body. See how much you can awaken the pose, like really feel your core, feel your spine, your chest, your hips, your neck and shoulders. So as you move through these cycles, tune into your breath. Let the breath be your metronome. And tune in deeply, feeling your body move. And enjoy the sensation. Then when you feel complete, we'll begin to make your way back into your neutral tabletop. And from here, we're going to energize your tabletop. So I invite you to curl your toes under, bringing more strength and power into your legs. And you can really dig your toes down into the mat and feel how that awakens your legs. Now, especially for me, as I begin that action, I feel it's like my tailbone wants to curve down because I'm engaging the backs of my legs. But here's where we begin to traction the knees apart. Think like the feet and the shins and the knees are widening away from each other. And as they do, the position of the pelvis changes. as you awaken the glutes, the upper glutes. So really traction the knees and the feet apart. Again, this is an isometric contraction, so the muscles are activating even though there's not a lot of movement. Now here's one more component. I'm gonna add that component later, okay? We're just gonna work with this now. Traction your shins and your knees apart. Feel the glutes awaken. Lengthen your heart forward, just like when we were sitting. Think about dragging your chest and your rib cage forward, lifting your belly up and in. Roll your shoulder blades, the tips of your shoulder blades down your back, and begin to lift your gaze to the horizon. You will feel your whole body, your back body, your glutes, your core, everything awakened here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Take a big deep breath in. Then exhale to child's pose, sinking your hips down to your heels. Let your forehead soften down onto your mat. Breathe into your back body, massaging your low back with your breath, massaging the space behind your heart, taking that deep, full, satisfying breath in and out. At the end of your exhale, you'll slowly begin to press yourself back into your tabletop. And we're going to work a little more twist just to get some more stretch and opening through the muscles. We're going to inhale to open your right fingertips to the sky. Feel that stretch through the right side of your waist. Then we'll exhale and weave your right arm under, bringing your shoulder down towards the floor. You can let your head come all the way down. Then use your left hand to leverage yourself into a deeper twist, pressing against the floor. You roll the left shoulder back and reach the right fingertips across. So really breathing into the twist, the stretch behind the right shoulder. Maybe you can feel that stretching in between your ribs. And we'll slowly begin to unwind. Open your right fingertips all the way back up to the sky, feeling that stretch across your chest. And we'll exhale and gently release the right hand back down to the floor. Moving to the second side, as you take your next inhale, we'll open up that left hand. So we feel the opening, the stretch along the left side of the waist, breathing into that space. Then we'll exhale and weave that left arm under, bringing your shoulder all the way down to the floor. And then just take your time to work your way into your best expression of this pose. And your best expression is whatever shape helps you to get the deepest, juiciest, yummiest stretch that you can possibly feel. So we roll the right shoulder back, deepening the spiral in the spine. Work that left shoulder under, feeling the stretch behind the shoulder blades, and breathe a deep breath, even in this twist. Then we'll slowly begin to open it back up, pressing against the earth. Inhale to sweep the left fingertips back open. And we'll exhale and float your left hand back down. And walk your hands forward to the front edge of your mat. Let your heart sink down towards the floor, feeling a wonderful stretch into your shoulders and chest. This is such a great example, a nice passive example of what that side body long feels like, right? So there's a deep curve in the low back, but it's a wide curve.
And the thoracic, the upper back, is starting to soften towards the earth. And the shoulders are creating more opening. And you can feel length along the sides of your rib cage and along the sides of your waist. So breathe into this stretch, like work with the chest and shoulder stretch, but also take note of the feeling, the sensation in the lengthening of your spine. And slowly walk your hands back underneath you. Curl your toes under and draw your hips up towards the sky, pressing yourself into a down dog. You can pedal out your feet and stretch into the backs of your legs. You can take your time here. This is our first moment of really opening up the legs, so you can go slow if you need to, and feel free to explore whatever your body is asking for in this moment. And when you feel ready, you can come into a place of stillness in your pose. And just take a good full round of breath. In and out. And at the bottom of your exhale, we'll begin to walk the feet forward, but take it one step at a time, no rush. Letting each step give you a new opportunity to stretch into the legs. One little step at a time. Slowly begin to make your way forward to fold over your legs. And as you come into this forward fold, you can shift your weight side to side, bending one knee and then the other, just kind of continuing that exploration of opening up the legs and giving your body whatever it needs, whatever it wants right now. Just breathing into that opening. And we'll make your way to stillness, just folding your body down. We'll take ragdoll here, grabbing opposite elbows. Let your head drop down between your arms. Let your knees be soft so that your upper body can really let go here. You want to feel the weight of your head and your arms dropping down towards the floor, responding to the pull of gravity, just helping you drop in to the stretch. Just breathe into it. Feel that opening along the length of your spine. Then we'll gently release your hands back down to the floor. All right, we're going to keep the hands connected to the mat. And in this next exercise, we're going to be practicing like the half lift. Sometimes we practice with the hands on the shins. Today, we're going to practice with the hands on the floor. So if you need to bend your knees to help you access this stretch, that's totally great. Bend your knees. You're awesome. Okay, so with the hands on the floor, your inhale is going to press your spine long. So we're inflating through the lungs and lifting up the spine. So your hands, your fingertips are down to the floor. You can always bend your knees as needed. As your hands anchor down into the mat, think about tractioning your hands towards your toes. Now again, nothing is going to move. It's just a muscular activation. But we engage the lats down here underneath the armpit. That's going to help you pull the heart forward, creating more length in the spine. Now lift your belly up and in. Tone the strength of your legs. Traction your knees and your shins apart, awakening the upper glutes. Holy smokes, you guys. Let's take one more big inhale. Then exhale, fold your body down and release. You can wiggle your knees side to side if you need. And we're gonna practice that shape again. So it's half lift, which you've done 100 gazillion times. But when you bring this deep level of awareness in your muscular activation, it's like a whole new adventure. So be patient with yourself. Remember, when you're learning something new, it's not always easy right off the bat. We want to take it one step at a time and just enjoy the journey. Just enjoy exploring, okay? So we'll root down through the feet, stabilize through your legs. Pressing into the mat, lift and lengthen through your spine. Okay, we can start with the legs and the feet this time. Tractioning the knees and the shins apart. We automatically start to awaken the outer band of tissue, the upper glutes. We feel the stability of the pelvis. Hug your abdominals up and in. Then traction your hands towards your toes to help you reach the rib cage forward, reach the heart forward. Take one more inhale here. Then exhale and gently release, folding your body down. You can bend your knees side to side and let your legs relax. All right, my friends, let's just slide your hands up your legs and slowly press yourself all the way up to standing. And when you come up to standing, just shake out your legs a little bit. Whew, it's pretty good work, right? I mean, here we've done like 3 poses, it seems like, but wow, it's like we've had a full body workout already. Good thing we still have more time, right? Let's get into it. So there's another concept that I was going to introduce earlier, but I'm going to bring it in now. And this is the concept of what we call inner spiral. And this kind of harkens back to what Ellen was asking us on Monday, or Ron maybe, when it comes to tractioning the knees and the shins apart. So with the feet parallel, you can softly bend into the knees. And when we start to traction the feet apart, it's like naturally the knees want to go wide. So this is where we bring in the idea of inner spiral. And inner spiral has to do with the upper thighs. So the spiral goes from the knee up in towards the groin. So the spiral comes up and in this way. So if you think about an inner spiral of the upper thigh, you can practice that. So you just go from standing, rooting down through your feet, your toes, like nice strong legs. Then think about rotating your thigh bones inward. What happens is we go from standing, then we inner spiral, and the hips, the pelvis goes back. We deepen the crease in the front of the hip socket, and it begins to awaken and engage the tops of the glutes. And that inner spiral is what keeps you from splaying the knees out to the side. Okay, so this is just another layer building on what we've already established. So we have the feet nice and strong. You can take a gentle bend into the knees, traction the feet apart, then inner spiral the upper thighs. You're going to feel like even deeper layers of activation in the deep core and in the glutes and across the top of the SI joint. Yeah! Bring your hands onto your legs, so you might need to come down just a little bit lower. I'm going to get back into it. Traction the feet, inner spiral the thighs, draw the tailbone back, engage the tops of the glutes. With the hands on the thighs, press against your legs and reach your heart forward. So we lengthen the rib cage forward. It doesn't have to be up, it really wants to go forward. So the belly is up and in,
The legs are super active, inner spiral in the thighs, lifting through the glutes, reaching, dragging the heart forward. Exhale, release, fold your body down. Wiggle out your knees if you need to. You guys having fun yet? We're gonna build onto it even more. So good. All right. We'll just come from your forward fold and bend into your knees. So you kind of take in that nice little chair pose. You can do it from this forward folded variation. We still traction the feet apart. Inner spiral through the thighs, that deepening the femur into the hip socket. We feel the tops of the glutes awaken. Then bring your hands up onto your knees. Press up through your heart and chest, drag your rib cage forward. Then here we go. We're gonna circle your arms in front of you, or maybe starting to work the arms up alongside the ears. Okay, in front of you is great. Roll your shoulders back, lift your chest, drag your heart forward. Eventually we start circling the arms up and up even more, finding more power and strength through the back. Hug your belly up and in, take one more inhale. Exhale, release. Let it go. Wiggle out the legs. Whew. Okay, you're gonna roll yourself up to standing. Take your time. A nice easy roll. Coming all the way up. We got a little bit more work to do before we start to wind it down, but you guys are doing awesome. Hang in there. We're heading towards the finish line. All right, so we've done a lot of great work today, like lengthening, engaging the strength of the core. That should be starting to feel a little more familiar. By now, the back bending that we are doing, there should be no pain in your low back, okay? No pain in the low back. If you're feeling pinchy or painful, we're gonna back it up and come out of it. We have a lot of power and energy swirling in the legs. We're gonna just move this. We're gonna do a little bit more work to bring in more power and strength through the upper part of the back, okay? You guys are awesome. Here we go. All right, so we'll start with the feet parallel. Rooting down through the big toe, rooting down through the heels. You can already begin to traction the feet apart and just feel how that calls to action your muscle groups. Okay, we're gonna inner spiral through the thighs and notice how that sends the tailbone and the sitting bones back. Okay, you can start to deepen into that, bending into the knees. So you kind of keep the knees over the ankles more or less. The feet are tractioning apart, the inner thighs spiral inward, the glutes are very active. We're gonna bring your hands up onto your thighs, press your heart up. Now previously we were dragging the chest, the rib cage forward. Here we actually are pressing up and out of the waist. Sink down in your hips, press up and out. Sink down in your hips, press up and out. One more time. Sink down in the hips, inner thigh, inner spiral, traction the legs, lift up through the chest. Then we'll reach your fingertips up towards the sky, grab a hold of the pull-up bar over your head. Haha, there it is. Reach up, grab that pull-up bar, lift your belly up and in. See if you can stay low in your seat and pull your heart up towards your pull-up bar. Ooh. Okay, let's relax and fold your body down. Shake your head out, shake your legs out. You can sway your body side to side. Okay, then we'll roll yourself all the way back up.